Good morning, Uganda. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV this morning, and welcome back from the business desk with Robert. It's time for the agenda. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and this morning we are looking at the 12th Parliament. Well, the 11th is bidding us farewell slowly by slowly. Started in May 2021 and ends next month, May 2026, and on comes the 12th Parliament. Expectations from the 12th August House, it's what we are looking at, and we're having this conversation with the Honorable David Okwere Bicham, MP-elect Bukedea constituency. 0709-602592 by text WhatsApp. Be part of the conversation. Have an opinion, have a question. Be part of the conversation. Honorable, good morning.
Very good morning to you, Julie. And first of all, I want to extend my sincere appreciation to you and the management of UBC and the NRM government.
Welcome back from Chankwanzi.
Thank you indeed. I'm humbled and it's good to be here. And being in Chankwanzi was something which was quite refreshing.
Profound. And
actually not even only profound, but it was something which was uniting and re-energizing. And I think we are ready to work.
I love that. Yes. Ready to work. You remind me of Honorable Lydia Wanyoto, who said that indeed now the ball is in the hands of all the MPs who attended Chankwanzi, and there's no one to point a blame finger for anything that fails except you yourselves.
Absolutely. That is the right position.
Right.
And I think we are actually very sure that we are going to deliver to the very best. Why would I say that we are going to deliver to the very best? Because I would say that when you look at the 12th Parliament, it reminds me a story in the Bible of Jesus Christ. When he came and brought Christianity to the world, he had 12 disciples. And when he had the 12 disciples, these 12 disciples are the ones actually who actually spread the gospel of Christianity to the whole world. So that number gives a definition of how important anything concerning about what an ideological thinking has been put to the benefit of the people. Because what these 12 disciples, as I said, did to the world is the reason why we're having Christianity today. So even me, I believe now on the 12th Parliament, it's the 12th number. I believe the 12th Parliament is going to deliver to the best expectations the Ugandans have been expecting, and they will achieve it.
All right. Let's look at NRM being the one that holds the lion's share in the 12th Parliament, as has been the case. NRM, though, looking at the last election cycle before this one, 2021, NRM was bruised terribly. And in this election cycle that has just concluded, January 2026, NRM has bruised others. So what statement does this make?
You know, politics is like football. Where there is always a winning side, and then there's a losing side. And to me, I believe under the leadership of His Excellency Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, he has actually brought Uganda to the best limelight, not just of Uganda of its own, but Uganda to the limelight in the whole of Africa. And not in the whole of Africa, but to the limelight in the whole world. Because where we picked ourselves from, we actually picked ourselves from the dungeons of a failed state. You know, when you talk about dungeons of the failed state, we moved in from the time of our independence, where we had almost about 9 heads of states. But out of those other 9 heads of states, we have never had a peaceful transition from one government to another. And even out of that other peaceful transition, all of those other heads of states which have been coming to power, it was through bloodshed. And that bloodshed actually had a lot of effects in our economy. We had loss of lives, we had no peace, people were not progressing economically, politically. Instead, we're living in a impoverished state. But right from the time when His Excellency Yoweri Museveni came into power, Uganda actually saw what they call the light at the end of the tunnel. And it is that light now that we are now having what we have today. Because just imagine if I am this type of person who has been given this opportunity to serve the country as a member of parliament. In earlier ancient days, you could never see young people being given the opportunity of serving as members of parliament or ministers. But it's only through the NRM government that we are seeing even the will or the voice of the young people have been given the opportunity to serve in parliament. Two, we have had a lot of changes in our economy. Today I'm blessed to be hosted in UBC, and being hosted in UBC, if I counted how many televisions are in the country as of now, vis-a-vis to the days when we had wars, I think there are more than 50 televisions now, if I'm to count. And I think previously, I think when they used to have UBC as the only television. Radio stations, there are over 100,
yep.
Which are in the country. So this has actually given a best platform of seeing that how do we communicate or deliver the message to the people at all different angles. And that message definitely is not a message which is to destroy, but it is a message of change and transforming the lives of people. Like what UBC is doing every time. You deliver the message which is giving a transformative angle to change the lives of people, because our Constitution, Article 1, actually brings it as very clear that power belongs to the people. So the government is actually in existence because of the power which has been given to the people. So even our being here today, it's because of the will of the people. That's why we are here. And the people are happy because the NRM government has given us peace.
I love the fact that you indeed emphasize and recognize
Yes.
that indeed it's the people that have given their will to be led by the government. Having come from Chankwanzi and moving on to the 12th Parliament, NRM has the largest number there, definitely so, undeniably so. Shall you as MPs, speaking in your position and perhaps of course speaking for those who are at Chankwanzi representing the NRM party, shall you be in Parliament to only align with what was discussed as a goal to learn the manifesto and the objectives of the NRM party, or shall there be a place of criticizing where need be, as definitely so?
I think I want to bring that into three perspectives.
Right.
Our going to Chankwanzi was in a threefold. The first one was about ideological orientation. To have an ideology is like, what do you believe in? Even like in Christianity, it is, people were actually looking at that, okay, can we believe in God? It was an ideology. And if you are to believe in God, you must preach and believe what Christianity talks about. So our going to Chankwanzi, about ideological orientation, it was that, do we believe in what NRM is saying? And if we believe in what NRM is saying, can we preach what NRM is saying from letter A to Z? Therefore, we must follow what the NRM manifesto is bringing in. And looking at the fact that the NRM manifesto, which was prepared, it was not prepared by people who were half-baked, but these are skilled people, very knowledgeable. They know about the economy of Uganda, they know about the political trend of Uganda, they know about the social factors of Uganda. And I think what was written there delivers to the expectations of the Ugandans. Now, therefore, if the manifesto delivers the expectations of the Ugandans. Who are the people to deliver? It's us, the MPs. And that is the reason why we were called there, that if you have been called to serve in Parliament, you don't need to be this type of MP who keeps hiding yourself from your own voters. You need to be a people-centered member of Parliament, or the Parliament itself needs to be people-centered to deliver to the expectation of the people. And what are those people-centered issues? We talk about issues of health, although the work of Parliament is basically going to be focusing on three main issues. That is legislation, and then we're having the oversight role and appropriation. But in these other three categories, I could actually analyze on both. If we talk about legislation, what is the quality of our debate in the August House? It's not about just making noise in the August House. We need a fully researched and people-centered issue debate. Secondly, if it's about people-centered debate, which angle does it touch? That is it about Uganda only? Because Uganda has got different interests. As a country, we also have our own interest in the East African community, and we have our own interests in Africa through the African Union. And then the other factor, of course, is that we also have our own interests in the global scene, on areas where we talk about the United Nations and other international organizations. So our debate must be focused, or legislation must be focused on those other areas. Therefore, when we're doing our legislation, it has to be well researched, not just based on pleasant making of noise and passing of unnecessary bills. And then when you pass out any kind of bill or a law, such a law is being challenged on the Constitutional Court, and then it's squashed. So the question, therefore, is that if the court goes ahead and quashes or nullifies a particular angle of the law, the brains behind it, what were they doing? Were they not doing their research to know that what they were doing was inconsistent with what other existing laws are?
Excuse me, right there, allow me interject therein and share examples of what's going on in conversation in regards to current affairs and politics here in Uganda.
Yes.
Looking at the sovereignty bill that's right now being handled by the 11th Parliament. And there are many issues there in regards to public opinion.
Yes.
The government or Parliament believes that the country has to be protected from foreign interference. Public opinion, on the other hand, says this needs to be revised. Yes, we understand the intent of the government, but it needs to be revised. Is it for the citizen? Is it not for the citizen? Is it to squash the citizen? Is it to actually elevate the citizen? There are many things in there, and public opinion is, as you can see evidently in the news, in the media, it's quite lagging, it's lingering, it's confusing. Not many people are on the side of the bill. But let's look at the budget itself that's going to serve 2026-2027. When you talk to budget experts, financial experts, they will tell you that many things might not even have been needed to impose taxes on. What we were going by in the previous budget were okay, and it was just a matter of improving a little because the economy had grown. So if you look at all these conversations, the budget that's going to serve the next financial year is definitely increasing the cost of living for many Ugandans. Looking at fuel alone, an addition of 200 shillings is immense, given even what's happening in the Iran-US saga. So one would still wonder, is it for the people or just for NRM, given that NRM has the majority number? And when the 12th Parliament goes in the August House and starts debating matters such as this, shall it still be again for the people? Shall there be criticism where necessary, or shall it be just for NRM?
Let me begin on the side of the sovereignty bill.
Right.
You know, I don't know why it's creating a lot of anxiety and excitement from so many people. But this is as simple as I could give an example.
Okay.
I am the husband in my own home. I have a wife and I have children. How do I protect my family to avoid any other outsiders to come and begin interfering with affairs of my own family?
Keep in mind there are already laws that are covering this.
Very true.
So, yes.
But of course, I know some of the legislations which may have been existing as far as sovereignty is concerned may have been laws which are outdated, of 1972, of the days of the Idi Amin, and maybe the days of Obote and all that. But look at where the world is moving now. We are moving towards what they call the digital world. Things are changing every day when you wake up. In those other days when those laws were being passed, we didn't have issues concerning about the artificial intelligence. We didn't have issues concerning about social media issues where someone can go to the US and maybe tarnish your name using some fake handles and whatsoever. We didn't have issues concerning about Instagram and so many of those other kind of things. The other fact, of course, is that there is also the demand which is existing in the world on all other areas, because a person may be interested in saying that, okay, please, I need to tarnish the image of this person for the sake of maybe a particular interests, because every country may target to spoil a particular country because of one's own particular interest. I can give an example. Uganda may be blessed, as of recent, we are blessed to have oil. And a person said that, how can I deny Uganda to benefit from its own oil or minerals which they have? How can I deny Uganda not to have the benefit of its own? We are seeing what's happening in Congo. Congo has never had peace because the country is blessed with almost every kind of natural resources which is there. The country is completely at war 24/7. People can't settle to develop. People are running day and night. They are refugees on their own country. If the people from Congo had said that, please, how do we protect our own selves as far as legislation is concerned, to allow any foreign country or any other outsider to come and interfere with our own affairs, which we are doing. And let me also bring this out. There is no one who can understand the state of the affairs of your own home except you, the owner of the home, or the children of that particular home. I give an example like the way I said, the husband and the wife. When you wake up every morning, you, the wife, and the father, you know what is inside your house. And not, if I put this in letter A or B, my house will be in a well-organized structure. Therefore, I'm also giving this like Uganda, that there is no one who can understand the state of affairs of Uganda better than us, our own selves, the citizens of Uganda. Because we were born here in Uganda, we grew up here in Uganda, we have studied here in Uganda, we have started work here in Uganda, and we shall die here in Uganda, and we shall be buried here in Uganda. I believe even tomorrow, when Jesus Christ resurrects, when we die in Uganda, we shall be resurrected. All our bodies will be resurrected in Uganda, not in the foreign land. So we understand the affairs of Uganda very well and crystal clear from A to Z. Therefore, we need now to have that sovereignty bill or law which would protect our own interests, because we know what is inside our own house better than any other person, than having issues like what you're seeing in Congo, what you're seeing in Chad, and so many other countries which I may not list as of now. But who's carrying the shoulder of all of that? I think it's Uganda, which is accommodating all those refugees who are now coming to Uganda and taking refuge out of that. Secondly, as I conclude on that other point, if you look into the statistics of most of the African countries, and I think even in the world, where they have actually listed which country is a place where people are living happily, I think Uganda has categorically been listed as the only country where people are living so happily, with a lot of freedom. You can move so freely, you can talk anyhow, you can abuse the president in any way you want, you can draw whatever kind of cartoons you want for a head of state or any kind of leader, you can move from morning to the whole night, no one can even touch you, including your own business. I think the only challenge, of course, which we are seeing in Uganda, which I may say that it's a kind of a wastage, is that although we are having that good freedom or peace, we, instead of us utilizing the daytime economy, where we move freely and do a lot of things, but we also needed to extend that kind of happiness even during night hours and make money. Because it's the reason when you see other countries like UK, like the US, like Canada, and so many of those other foreign countries, people are working both day and night. People are having limited hours of sleeping, calculated. Like for you, you can be in the studios here, you do your presentation, as after a certain period of time, you again do another presentation. During night hours, you again doing another presentation. At the end of any financial year, your collections would have been more than enough. It may not have been maybe one kind of particular job of you being in the studios. Even if you went out and begin saying, I can go and do my own private things during daytime, even during night hours, there would have actually helped ourselves to chase poverty out. And I think that actually drives my next point of what we were taught from Chankwanzi, that how do we drive poverty out of the citizens.
Right. You are watching Good Morning Uganda. It's the agenda, and we are looking at the 12th Parliament, which is swearing in next month. Expectations for the newly elected legislatures. What do you expect from them? 0709602592, pardon me, 0709602592. By WhatsApp, share your opinion. In studio to have this conversation with me is Honorable David Okwere Bicham, MP-elect Bukedea constituency, one with whom we're having this conversation. To get into a few of your comments, and thank you once again for being on the show. The Parliament will be very strong, though we will miss the likes of Semuju, and MPs should help us. Okay, they should help you pick Mao for speakership. This is Robinson from Kasese. And 529 plus new MPs sworn in May 2026. Reality, no donor money, debt high, people broke, refugees hungry, youth jobless. Ugandans demand 3 things only. Stop stealing. No Mabati, no ghost circles, jail corrupt leaders fast. Make life cheaper. End PTA chasing kids from UPE, lower taxes, create jobs. Come back home. Don't disappear to Kampala for 5 years. Hold barazas in your constituencies. Big test. Fast oil money, plus refugee crisis, plus no US aid. If MPs eat alone, 2031 will be war. If MPs serve, when the righteous rule, people rejoice. They are quoting Proverbs 29:2. Bottom line for MPs, we sent you to fight for us, not to become a landlord in Kampala. Fail us, we bury you in 2031. Greetings to my friend and MP-elect in the studio. And one quoting this is Shaban Ali in Soroti City. Thank you, Shaban, for being on the show. Congratulations. First and foremost, hi, good morning to you. Warmly greetings to MP-elect Mr. Okwere. How I wish that 100 million government is going. to give MPs, you open circles for us, the voters. We come and borrow from it in conditions without interest. So why do I say so? I'm educated but no job, and I'm just here in Kakere. You share your number, your phone number, Honorable, we'll see it, and you say you can have a discussion with him. Thank you. Congratulations upon your winning. Keep the comments coming through 0709-602-592 text WhatsApp. We're looking at what we expect from the 12th Parliament, and to shed light on that alongside you, very important that it is you that's part of this conversation. We do have Honorable David Okwere Bicham, who is the MP-elect Bukedea constituency. Now, indeed, I love the fact that someone here mentioned that they're going to miss the likes of Honorable Semuju in this 12th August House that's incoming. Have about 65% new MPs, and they're about 35% returnees. That is the turnover that we do have. Of course, the likes of Semuju, the likes of Honorable Semuju, the likes of Honorable Medad Segona, these are the examples that are on everyone's lips as to what Parliament will look like without them. But in your opinion, what do you think the August House, the 12th August House, the flow of the 12th August House will look like?
Permit me to say this, that, you know, a debate in Parliament or legislation is almost like, I give an example.
Okay.
In those other olden days, we had music, which was being played by the South African people, the Yvonne Chaka-Chakas, and whatever, and people danced. People could dance to the last bottom because they could feel the beats. We thought that was the best music of the Yvonne Chaka-Chakas and so many, the Awilo Longovas and whatsoever. We thought it was the best music. But little did we know that as years kept moving on, we are now having more other better beats of Bebe Cool. We are having more other beats of people like Jose Chameleon, and even our own artists. And now people are dancing even much better than even the Yvonne Chaka-Chakas. I am giving that reference to the rhetorics of the Semujus. So most people may be thinking that the Semujus were the best debaters, because that is the generation of the Semuju. The 12th Parliament are going to have their own debaters, and they will deliver to the best expectations of Ugandans. I believe they are young, energetic, well-grounded, researched, and educated, and energetic men and boys who are there. And Ugandans will luckily say that, I think we wasted our times. I wish they had even come a bit earlier. I'm also very convinced that the 12th Parliament gives an answer to what most of the people have been analyzing and saying before, that the young ones are the future leaders of tomorrow. On your side, you are young, and you're delivering the best results in the studios in UBC. And UBC is happy about it, and even government is happy about it. It's because you're young. Even myself, I believe I'm energetic enough, very young, and I'm going to deliver to the best expectations. One, of my party, NRM. Two, to protect the interest of the state, that's government. And then thirdly, to protect the interest of the voters. Because it's now these voters, and surprisingly, it's actually me who got the highest number of votes in the whole country, beating all other MPs. I got 68,000 votes. No other MP got that. Now, if people overwhelmingly give you that kind of confidence, what do you do in such kind of arena? You must make the person who voted for you with such a high number of votes very happy. If you don't make them very happy, then they will not be happy with you. Now, of course, I got that with the support and help of my party, NRM. I must make my party, NRM, to be very happy. And the way I will make this voters of mine and NRM to be happy, it is through service delivery, what they have sent me to do, not to do the opposite or challenge them or being critic on whatsoever. But I have to align with the NRM manifesto to see that we deliver to the expectations of Ugandans. Therefore, my coming in and your being there is an answer to what most people have been actually saying, that we are the future leaders of tomorrow.
Allow me ask, what different things shall be done? One of the conversations from Chankwanzi was a dire cry against corruption. And when you speak passionately so on service delivery.
That's true.
Service delivery has been choked by corruption in Uganda. Over years, we realize that corruption is a demon that's suffocating Uganda as a country. In this tenure, the next 5 years, how do you think you're changing the narrative? That because why it's so dire and it's heart-aching is the fact that as the budget is increasing, as the cost of living is increasing, as tax proposals are increasing, what hurts Ugandans most is the fact that services are not delivered. They don't experience what they pay for. It would be okay to pay all the monies, but are we experiencing the services we ought to experience as citizens? So what do you think shall be different from the previous regimes in this 12th tenure of Parliament?
Let me bring it out as one of the things. When we talk about corruption, corruption has not started manifesting itself just this year or last year or during the 11th Parliament or going to be there in the 12th Parliament. But corruption has been part of humanity right from generation to generation. Even in the Bible, it existed. I like making reference to the Bible. I think if I may make reference to the Bible once again, even one of the persons who actually betrayed Jesus Christ, Judas Iscariot, he betrayed Jesus because he was corrupted. So corruption is in different folds. It's in the mind of a person. There's an exchange of money for you to do a particular thing, or an inducement for you to do a particular thing. Then there's also corruption in a different format, whereby a person is saying, I'm working in government. Let me give an example. You are maybe a police officer, and for you, or you're a teacher, or a head teacher, or you are a permanent secretary, you want to be left in that particular position, and you don't want to be transferred to another office. When they transfer you from that other office or to another area, you begin calling your godfather. You don't want to be transferred. Then your godfather said that, please don't remove my person, let that person remain being there. Even corruption has been there with jobs. Nowadays, the way of getting jobs in Uganda, it's not on merit. It's now through a know-how system. That's corruption. A person said that, okay, please, I want to get a job in UBC, and they say, who is my godfather that I should call, who can communicate to UBC, and I will get the job. So the issue is that whether I have the qualifications or not, I will get the job. So that's also corruption. But be that as it may, the PS Public Service, Madam Nachiobe Lucy, actually came and gave a presentation on seeing how we should deal away with the corruption. And the president actually, she gave a very elaborate presentation. And the president said that her presentation should be used as a blueprint of helping us tackle with the corruption. And I think that paper has already been circulated to most of us, and government is going to adopt it. It will even come to the August House for us to roll it out. It is so adequate. If you're called to serve, then serve diligently with one heart. Forget about issues concerning about being static to one particular place. Where change is inevitable, admit and move with it. Secondly, the government is going to focus especially on human contact, one person to another. I will give an example. A bid or a call of a bid may come and they are needing something from UBC Studios or from UBC TV, and there is a procurement needed. I can give an example, maybe like cameras, or it could be furniture. Government is going to roll out its own programs to see that there is an e-government where applications will be called from different outsiders or people to apply online. There you are not having direct interface between the person applying and the one receiving from the other side. Now, it's normal that direct interface is now the one which is bringing problems, where people begin to negotiate and say, please, what about my card? So this e-government, where you apply online, you apply and wait until the final decision has been made by the side, you communicate, and then now you have direct interface with the time. By that other time, you'd have cut any kind of negotiations between these two people of which would have tried to influence and bring any kind of corruption. Secondly, of course, out of corruption, it brings in quite a lot of things, half-baked work. Because you may want to corrupt a person, and out of that other undue influence, the person may not receive what is adequate to deliver what they call quality service. Because you want to pay everyone who is there to be part of you, and the money you're receiving will not be able to produce something what is of quality. I've seen sometimes when I drive around the country, people are complaining of roads. This road was just worked on like about 2 months ago, but it's hardly a long period of time, the road is already bad. What brings in that? It's because of poor workmanship or poor kind of materials which was used on the road. And when you get to the contractor said that, no, I spent a lot of money because I had to bribe A, B, C, D. So I could not have enough money for me to put something of standard. If other countries can do, like Rwanda and maybe Kenya and so many others, I may give an example, why not Uganda?
Right. Looking at the 12th Parliament, what in your view distinguishes the 12th Parliament from all previous parliaments, especially in line with composition, but also the political climate?
One, of course, we are having quite a number of young, energetic young people who are actually coming in to serve, and that definitely gives a more leverage of us working to the best expectations. What is always expected more is an energy of a young person, because they would be able to work both day and night. Two, I think issues concerning about loyalty. Loyalty is on two folds. One, loyalty to the people who voted for you, and then there's loyalty to the party. Now, NRM, as I look at, or as I believe, like how we were sent there and given an ideological orientation to align ourselves to understand what is the party's interest. So I don't expect to be seeing from the 12th Parliament that we are going to be having people who can be opposing what their own party is saying, because NRM as a party and MPs of the 12th Parliament are having a contract between themselves in three ways. There's a contract between you and your own party, which has sent you to Parliament. You must deliver to the expectation of your own party. Therefore, you have to deliver what the manifesto of your party has said. There's a contract between you, the MP, and the voters, because that contract is last 5 years. So therefore, what we promised during the time of our campaigns, we must deliver it to the full best expectation of the people. Because what will make us fail to deliver? Number one, we have peace in the country. I would move to my constituency at any time I want an interface with my voters. 2, I would meet together with His Excellency the President because he's readily available. He's a father, and he will ever guide at any one time. Thirdly, we have the NRM Secretariat. The Secretariat is readily available, both online at any time. We shall be able to interface together with them to guide us where we need. But this guidance, like the way I said, Parliament should not be made like a 4-star hotel where you go and relax and sleep.
Allow me get into some of the comments coming through. We are looking at expectations of the newly elected legislators. What do you expect? 0709-602-592, text by WhatsApp and share your opinion. We are having this conversation with Honorable David Okwere Bicham, who is the MP-elect of Bukedea constituency, looking forward to swearing in come next month to begin serving in the 12th August House. My very best expectation about the 12th Parliament is to know the social and economic problems of Ugandans. It will be more shaming and embarrassing if we hear that MPs who were voted are embezzling national funds. Thank you for the show. Hi, but the MP-elect should be careful when he is talking about the well-being of the Ugandans, but not praising the regime. What would you say to the viewer who has shared this opinion?
I think there is no better other word I could say as of now. To me, we are living in what they call a generation. I was born in NRM during the NRM days when President Museveni was there. I have grown up during the time when President Museveni is there. I have started work during the days when President Museveni is there. I have gone to Parliament when President Museveni is there. So therefore, I understand what NRM is, not just by mind, but even by blood. And I will defend the position of NRM because NRM has protected most of the young people from going into wars. Because if it was other countries where we had maybe change of government and then we were having wars like what we have had in the East African countries, then we would have not had what we are. So at any one time, I would defend NRM because I know NRM better. I cannot speak of anything which I don't know. Anyone who can talk about maybe Obote can defend about what Obote did, but I will defend the position of NRM. And even if we weigh what NRM has done and what those other regimes have done and put on the weighing scale, I believe NRM would have done best. So why would I not defend the position of NRM?
And this viewer would say, are you speaking for the NRM or for the people of Bukedea and Ugandans?
Now, like the way I'd actually said earlier before, that my coming in to Parliament was out of a mandate of 2 people. 1, I was holding the flag of NRM. 2, I was voted by the people. And they are the ones who gave me the 68,000 votes. So whatever I'm speaking based on the 2 thresholds. The interest of NRM and the interest of the people. And that interest of the people, they are the ones who voted for me. The other one, of course, if I'm speaking on the interest of the people, we are aligning with the Article 1 of the Constitution, which actually says that power belongs to the people. So if I'm speaking on behalf of the people, and I will be there to protect them.
If I was a member of Parliament, I would raise a petition that restricts members of Parliament not to invest outside their country. Interesting. Someone else comes through and says, hi, Mr. Okwere, I like your allusion to the sovereignty bill to an attempt to protect, or using the analogy of a husband protecting wife and children. And then again says that, but what the bill means is that you consider that your child who wants to support you from outside the family sitting as a foreigner. Is that not irony? This is Langole who comes through. Keep the comments coming through 0709-602-592. Charles Malinde says number of MPs should be reduced to the number of districts. The parliament is over-flooded by dormant MPs. Maximum of 150 MPs can deliver to the expectation of the citizens of this country. This is Charles, who is in Tororo, and says every MP corrupted voters for their success. Oh, okay. Let's talk about the numbers, as Charles indeed highlights this. What do you think of the numbers? Don't you think it's too much?
I don't think it's even too much on my own side. I can look into other countries. Let me give an example, like Kenya. Kenya has gotten like about 2 different houses. They have parliament itself, and then they have the Senate. Those are 2 different houses.
Yep.
So if you round up the number of all those number of legislators, what figures does it give? Secondly, Uganda is not a static country. It's a country of young people. If I'm to say 75% are of young people. And normally when you're having young energy and new energy, quite a lot of things are happening.
Right.
The ratio of a number of people in a particular place to give or to interface with a particular leader, like the way how we send kids to school, you'd always be interested to know that I want my kid to have a direct interface with the teacher so that my kid will understand better. If your kid does not interface with the teacher properly, then the output of your child may be half-baked. So therefore, our numbers as a country, we are growing. From the last population census, I think we're rated at about 45 or 48,000 million Ugandans. Now, if you look at that kind of ratio to a number of leaders which we are having, and those people in the village are interested to know what is exactly taking place in parliament, then I believe the number would be adequate, because our numbers are growing big. Unless otherwise, to the contrary, because normally when we talk about the numbers, because we have numbers in different ways. There are MPs which are directly elected as of the constituency. We are having women members of parliament. We are having representatives from different angles. We have the youth represented. We are having the army represented. We are having the elders represented. And then we are having disabilities represented. So unless if someone is trying to challenge to say that, why don't we align the roles of these other MPs, directly elected members of parliament, to handle the works of what the woman member of parliament would be doing? But of course, which would be a big assignment. How would you cover the whole constituency or the whole district to engage together with the people? 2, how would you cover the interest or engage together with the interest of the army? Because I may not have the army skills to know what's taking place within the army circles. That may also need its own person of expertise. Of course, the other one, of course, is that when you talk about issues concerning about youth, even youth have also got their own different interest. So we needed a person who was best suited to enter in there. But my guidance, of course, like the way I'd said, that the people who thought that the number should be what is there did not do that out of the blue. They were educated, they did the proper research, and the people who were behind it are both professors, they are people of PhDs, they are people of degrees, they are people of diplomas, they are people of all angles. And then they came up that I think it would be very appropriate for us to have this number so that we are having what they call equal representation.
Right.
But permit me as I end on that other point. What needs to be differentiated is that Parliament, like how the President guided us when we were in Chankwanzi, that it needed Parliament, the 12th Parliament this time, to have a different approach, to be more of people-centered, and to be engaged with a community or our own communities 24/7. We need to be in our constituencies every time, not to come to Kampala and hide. A MP disappears for about a month or two or 1 full year. He has never even gone back to the constituency to engage together with the people who voted for you to understand what problems are there. And then the President also guided and said that it's much appropriate or better to see that even what most MPs have been trying to align, they said that I'm having a foreign trip, working trip, maybe in the UK or South Africa and whatever. By the time the year comes to an end, an MP has spent almost 2 or 3 years when he's out. When he comes, he goes back out. When he comes, he goes back out. He's not even in the House to legislate. He's not even going back in the constituency to engage together with the people. So how will you understand now what is taking place because of the foreign trips you are making out of the work that you're doing? So the President actually guided to say that let's this time have minimal number of external flights out. Right. And let's do our own things within our own house together with the community. There we shall have a better output.
Right, our time is very much spent, but we cannot leave this conversation definitely without talking about the leadership. What do you expect of the 12th Parliament's leadership, that is Speaker and Deputy Speaker?
I have no doubt that the Right Honourable Anita Mong and TT are excellent people. First and foremost, you know, when you are a leader in a particular organization, you need to be that kind of father or mother who is too close to your family. In the 11th Parliament, AAA has showed herself to be more closer, although she took over from the late Jacob Olanya. She has showed herself to be more closer the members of Parliament. Therefore, she understands what challenges a member of Parliament may face because she's too close to them. Even TT, they have been too close to members of Parliament, and they have owned them as children of one family called the Parliament. They don't see them as there's NRM, there's opposition. They see them all as legislators of Uganda. Secondly, in the last elections, AAA and TT actually explored and moved in the whole country. They campaigned for His Excellency Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, constituency by constituency. In the history of Uganda, I have never seen or read, even before I was born, where a speaker of those other olden days moved together with a particular president and campaigned for him district per district or constituency per district or a constituent per constituent. It's only this time when this happened, when I saw Right Honourable Anita Mong traversing the whole country, and she campaigned for President Yoweri Museveni. She campaigned for flag bearers, NRM flag bearers. Now, that of course per se has given actually the best yields, I could say, of a big number of people. That's why we're having a majority of NRM MPs in Parliament, if it wasn't because of their efforts. Secondly, I think also their moving around contributed to what the President achieved, because they came as a united force. You could see that it was a collaboration between all the three arms of government. The President was there together with other ministers on the side, but of course other ministers were also struggling to say that they retain their positions, so they could have no time to do that. But the President could move, and you could see the people from the legislative angle on the side of the Speaker and TT moving around together with the President, so that they are able to be exposed to understand what is the geography of Uganda. If tomorrow an MP from Bushenyi came and talked about some challenges concerning about Bushenyi, the Speaker would be able to put that MP out of order, because she knows she was in Bushenyi and saw what was there and be able to defend what that MP is talking about. I come from Bukedia. Well, I may not talk about Bukedia because the speaker comes from there. But I could say about Gulu, because if an MP from Gulu brought up something to the speaker or to the floor of the house and either tried to speak lies, the speaker would be able to put that MP out of order because she was there and she understands the terrain and the geography, even the road networks of those particular countries, those particular regions, because they went there and campaigned. Therefore, they understand what Uganda is. It's because of them. Secondly, as I conclude, it is only in the 11th Parliament where I saw that we have not had DC fights like what other MPs used to do. People were fighting in Parliament, throwing of chairs. So that one has also, I've seen that Parliament is united. So I think lastly, of course, issues concerning about the welfare of members of Parliament. These people have actually been fighting to see that MPs are given what is adequate.
Right. Now, looking at the 12th leader of Parliament, from your submission, it sounds like there's already a predetermination that Honorable AAA and Honorable TT will indeed be the leaders of the 12th Parliament. What gives you that assurance in speaking as such or submitting as such, given the contenders that we have like Honorable Mao, Honorable Lydia Wanyoto there in the Princess of Busoga there in, what informs this direction of submission?
Permit me to say that even the Bible says that you will be judged by your own works or the fruits of your own works. I think as of my side, and I believe as of a majority of most MPs, they have seen the fruits of the works of TT and AAA. If there is anyone who can analyze what these two people have done, let them bring it out and put it on the weighing scale. Secondly, you know, when you are getting a member, a speaker, it must be a person who believes on the ideology of what NRM is. And I think it's the reason why the SEC, in about 2 or 3 months ago, they had made a resolution, and the president actually said that at an appropriate time, he will come out and explain why the SEC endorsed AAA and TT to continue serving as speakers of the 12th Parliament. That SEC resolution is there. Now, the coming in of Mao and maybe Lydia Wanyoto and the
Honorable
Princess,
Passes.
yes, all those other people. You know, NRM is a party which is open to democracy because it's one of the principles which the party is founded. Democracy, where there is free participation and all that. All those people who have expressed interest that they also want to stand, it's good for them. But normally what happens that even if they have expressed their interest that they want to stand for speakership, the final nail comes, or the vetting comes with the SEC. They will look into those other credentials I have told you, that even the tree can be judged by its own fruits. What fruits has AAA delivered in the 11th Parliament? Are they seen or not? I've never seen any other speaker, unless only TT and AAA, who have actually navigated and also made sure that they even fish, like how Jesus Christ told his disciples, go out and fish people from out so that they join as Christians. TT and AAA has gone out and fished, done the fishing, and got in people from opposition to join NRM. If you had read the analytical things, we have had Honorable Akol was once FDC. We had Honorable Mapendusi was once, I think, also FDC. Quite a big number of opposition people are now joining NRM. if you look into the statistics of those other MPs who were previously in opposition and they have come to join NRM, it's such enormous number. Tell me which speaker in Uganda has ever lobbied to that extent to bring or to go out and fish people who oppose the ideology and now they come and align with you? Who?
Right, indeed. Thank you very much, Honorable David Okwere Bicham, MP-elect of Bukedea constituency. It's been such an honor speaking with you.
Thank you.
And wishing you the best of your tenure as well as the swearing-in ceremony. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. I'm exceptionally humbled.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. This is Good Morning Uganda, and we are ending it with birthday celebrations on the 23rd day, this 23rd day of April 2026. Celebrating Colonel Samson Colonel Samson Monday. May this day stand as a quiet testament to a life of discipline, courage, and service. Your leadership continues to inspire, and your commitment leaves a mark far beyond what words can fully capture. Wishing you strength in the years ahead, fulfillment in all your pursuit, and moments of well-earned peace along the way. May today bring you both reflection and joy. Respectfully from the Good Morning Uganda team here at UBC. Happy birthday, Colonel Samson Monday. Have a good one. And on that note, I also say God bless you, Uganda. Thank you so much for watching. Robert Kirabon, you need to know, is coming up with GMU Extra for God and my country. Good morning.
Some people think when a woman starts leading in business, the home will suffer. But many families are discovering the opposite.
Before, I worked hard in our business, but I feared making big decisions. I was worried people would say I was disrespecting my husband. Then I joined the group project, where I received training, business support, and coaching that helped me plan better, manage money wisely, and make decisions with confidence. Today, I lead with confidence in my business. I contribute more at home, support our family needs, and help reduce the burden on my husband. I'm not competing with my husband, I'm standing with him.
And our marriage has not weakened, it has grown stronger. We are